It sucks. I accidentally pressed stop on the last recording. Anyway, this is just picking up where I got cut off uh, on chapter 39, where Lee Cherie says, "Not that, silly. I'm I'm not talking about that. I did like it. It was my first time. Not even a finger. Can you believe it? It probably never occurred to my boyfriends that princesses even have assholes." She kissed Bernard appreciatively. "I wasn't talking about that, you silly bomber." Silly bomber. "I meant your frame job. The poor ambassadors from Argon." "Them? Well, first of all, babe, if they really got here all the way from Argon, they shouldn't have any trouble getting out of the Lahaina jail. Second, things they were saying about redheads constituted a crime against nature. Nature demanded retribution. Third, the woodpecker is proud of his deeds, even those that have a certain overtone of fuck-up about them. He's not going to let any glory hogs from outer space take credit for what was a rather fine piece of journeyman dynamiting. One day he'll set the record straight, but not right away. There are 11 months to go before the statute of limitations expires, at which time he plans to enjoy some especially amusing public appearances. In 11 months you'll be free? If that's freedom, yeah. But for some reason that makes me happy. I can't imagine why." They snuggled closer, and when they were as close as they could get without being behind one another, they commenced to kiss again. His middle finger began to disappear into her vagina, but she pulled it out and forced it instead, with some discomfort and some ecstasy, deep into the royal rectum. "Outlaw territory," she whispered. "What is needed is a sustained public demand for liberation," quote, "What is needed is a sustained public demand for a liberation of law and technology that will disarm the corporate power that turns nature against man. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night." End quote. Did the banyan tree believe that the cheering was for it? Surely the moon realized that in the last quarter of the 20th century it could expect no applause. The hero, nodding more than bowing, stepped down from the podium and in scruffed shoes strode modestly from Banyan Park. If success is clapped and failure booed, then Julietta deserved but catcalls for her evening's work. An hour's diligent searching had not located her mistress in charge. Julietta also left the park. Bernard and Lee Cherie might legitimately have applauded themselves, but freshly fucked lovers seldom acknowledge success in those terms. And besides, they were too pooped to give themselves the standing ovation they deserved. They, too, were preparing to take their leave. They sat on the berth, they shared a cup of tequila and a package of Hostess Twinkies. As if they were tourists at a geological site, they watched a flow of translucent lava inch its way down the inside of her leg. "You sure were full of it," she said. "A regular Hostess Twinkie," he replied. She dipped a thumb into the flow and stuck it in her pretty mouth. It made her giggle. "I hear it tastes like plastic," Bernard said. "Cream of bomber soup. Someday I want a whole bowlful." "You know how to open the can." Dreamily, the princess stood up. "I'm not sure if I can walk," she said. "Then I'll carry you." Is that what love is? I no longer know what love is. A week ago I had a lot of ideas. What love is and how to make it stay. Now that I'm in love, I haven't a clue. Now that I'm in love, I'm completely stupid on the subject. Lee Cherie was feeling stupid as well. Look as she might, she couldn't find her underpants. They must have melted, she joked as she hugged Bernard goodbye, but secretly suspected that the gods had vaporized them as a warning, a sign of divine displeasure for her having given her heart and her ass to the outlaw, rather than her mind and her soul to a cause. In actual fact, a mongoose, attracted by the primal fragrance emanating from the sloop, had come aboard and carried them off. Having chewed all of the salt out of them, the mongoose abandoned the panties in a gutter along the hotel street, where the following morning the hero, hailing a taxi for the airport, stepped on them without noticing, although the lace cried out sweetly to his purposeful shoes.